Hopefully we can end this right here. This shit good. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah. Ouch! I cry. I cry out as I prick myself in the with the end of the sewing needle, rounding at the injury. A drop of ruby blood bubbles on the top of my fingertip. Though I though I know it served you right for not concentrating on what I was doing. Setting aside the garment I'm working on, I grab a tissue and hold it around my finger, stemming the flow of blood. I need to be more careful. Smearing blood on the client's new dress isn't exactly the best way to promote a business. With a small sigh, I decide it won't hurt if I finish up a little earlier today. The store has been unusually quiet, and I've been finding it difficult to concentrate on my task. I had thrown myself into my work, determined not to think anymore about Gray, Jason, and his rather particular interests. But as the day dragged on, I found myself getting more and more distracted by thoughts of him. I was glad to have I was glad to have had him here last night after someone had been hanging around the alley. It made me feel safe knowing I wasn't alone. He was gone when I woke up this morning, and I was both disappointed and relieved. On one hand, I didn't have to endure any awkwardness of our late night conversation or finding out I drooled on his lap. But on the other hand, I was kind of looking forward to seeing what kind of person Gray was first thing in the morning. Bed here alone would surely be worth it. After putting my work away, I head back to the shop to lock up, freezing when I see a familiar blind standing on top of the counter. Oh, Gray, I say in surprise, a small smile appearing on my face. I had just been just thinking about him. Well, I've been thinking about him all day, really, but that doesn't make his presence any less surprising. What are you doing here? I asked. It's not one of his usual
Hmm.
game nights. I just wanted to stop by and ask and make sure everything was okay around here, he explains, after what happened last night. With a small nod, I begin putting away the items on the counter, trying to calm my nerves, though the feeling of his eyes on me make my skin warm. Yeah, everything's fine. I haven't had any trouble today, I say casually, grabbing the keys for the front
Hmm.
door. I'm glad to hear it. I picture with the keys in my hand, giving him a quick once over before speaking again. So, where'd you run off to in such a hurry this morning? I asked. He shrugs a little and crosses his arm over my
Oh.
chest. Oh, I had some things to take care of, he says vaguely. At 7 in the morning? Yes, at 7 in the morning, he chuckles and then gives me a softer
uh,
look. I'm sorry I wasn't there when you woke up. I wanted to be. He hesitates as though there's something more he wants to say. Suddenly, I get an impression that there may be another reason he's here. Before either of us could speak, a bell above the door rings our attention and Sarah enters the store. I found my jib behind her. So tall, I constantly wonder if he's going to hit his head on the top of the door frame.
Hmm.
Hey, you two, Sarah greets and I don't see blah, and I don't miss the amusement in her voice as her eyes dart between
Hmm.
Gray and I. Fancy meeting you here, Gray. She adds with a
huh.
wink. Well, I guess this is the place to be today. Sarah Gray grins between her and Jed, and I suddenly feel like I'm missing out on
Hmm.
something. We're heading out to the fun fair this evening. You two should come. Sarah says, giving me the kind of knowing smile that I wish he
Huh.
wouldn't. I love to go. I haven't been to a fair in years. Gray speaks before I had the chance to meet. I have the chance to, and all three sets of eyes follow me. The fun fair is something that Sarah and I attend together every year, but between my work and making costumes for Nikki and being distracted by a certain blind, I have forgotten all about it. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Get on the Ferris wheel. You know what I mean? Do some shit like that. Sure, I'll go. I say with a shrug, but my smile soon turns into a frown. But it's usually the two of us. Girl, we We got our niggas. What are we talking about? This is a double date. But it's usually just the two of us. You don't want to keep up with tradition, I asked
Hmm.
Sarah. It might be nice to have some company, don't you think? Sarah gives me a meaningful look and I glance over at the guys. All right, I can take a hint. Yeah, of course it would. I covered the remark with a smile. Sarah claps her hand in approval and grins up at Jed. And it seems my intuition was right. She's definitely doing this in order to hang out with a certain black haired individual. I'm sure of it. Once the sun sets, I grab my jacket and phone, and the four of us head out to the streets. The fun fair isn't far, just a quick walk further in town. While Gray and Jed take the lead, walking ahead of us, I hang back with Sarah. So, are you going to keep denying that you have a thing for Jed? I lean into her, earning a so- earning a scoff
Eh.
in response. I have no idea what you're talking about. She says with a dismissive shake of her head, "It's fine." I snort loudly. I'm not buying it. Anyone with eyes can see there's something going on, and I happen to have two of them. Sarah, I press. Though she purses her lips defiantly, she eventually cracks. She stares after Jed, lowering her voice so as not to be
Ah.
overheard. Fine. So I like him. I really like him. She whispers to me, and I can barely smother my trumpet grin. I thought he was a mountain man, I say bluntly, looking at her when she
Ah.
sighs. I was wrong, she admits
Hmm.
quietly. He's actually really smart and surprisingly gentle. She adds, a small but wicked smile curling her lips. I gape at her. I can't help it. Sarah actually admitting she was wrong is the equivalent to seeing pigs fly. I never thought I would see the day.
Hmm.
We sealed the deal last night. She gloats. Right after he asked me to be his girlfriend. Ah! What, really? I shrieked. When I noticed we drawn the attention of the guys, I lowered my voice. I didn't even know those things were getting that serious between the two of you, I
Ah.
whispered. It all moved pretty fast. I didn't even. Sarah whips her head towards the guys behind us.
Hmm.
We're coming. Just wait up. Just wait for us up ahead. She calls out to Jen and Gray, who have slowed down since noticing us falling behind. With a shrug, they continue on down the street. Does he know? I mean, about who you are, all that stuff with the gang?
Ah.
No, not yet. Oh shit, yo! Oh shit! She keeps secrets for this nigga too. God damn. No, no. No, not yet. She shakes her head. What about Gray? I sigh, and she has my answer. I feel a smidgen of relief knowing that we share the same dilemma.
Hmm.
The two of us seem to be getting close, Sarah muses. I give her a look that says I'd rather not talk about it, and she
Ah.
shrugs. I'm sorry I was pushing you about telling him before. I know now that it's not easy as it sounds, she says. First you admit you were wrong about Jed, and now you're apologizing to me, I tease. Who are you and what have you done with my best
Ah.
friend? I'm being serious, she nudges me, but I don't miss the smile that sneaks onto her lips. I grin to myself found someone she's liked so much. After all the terrible dates and failed relationships she's had in the past, she deserves someone like Jed. I like Jed. He seems like a good guy. I say softly, smiling at the way she watches him.
Hmm.
Yeah, he is. We walk in a comfortable silence until we reach the end of the road, and the sounds of the music and people get louder with each step. That's it. When we turn the next corner. We find the fun fair set up down the street in full swing. Wow, I say it out loud. The fair never fails to brighten my mood, filling me with a feel of nostalgia. Nostalgia. The bright lights, the music, and the scent of food drifting through the air. And then, of course, the laughter and screams of the people enjoying the rides. Even from here, I can spot them all. Roller coasters, Ferris wheel, pirate ship.
Ah,
Come on, girls, hurry up. We hear Jed's voice from afar. Let's go to the bumper cars. Jed waves us over as though we ever lose sight of two guys who tower over the majority of the crowd, and we head over to join them. Sarah runs off ahead, gripping Jed by the arm and leaving me with Gray. You ready to kick some ass on the bumper cars? He asks, chuckling as the other two excitedly find a place in line. Well, it just so happens bumper cars are my favorite, I say with a grin. Gray raises a inquisitive eyebrow and gestures to the line for the
Hmm.
ride. In that case, after you. We head over to wait in the line with Jed and Sarah, and I quietly laugh at the way they whisper and smile at each other. They make a good looking couple.
Huh.
Feels weird to be stuck in line with all the teenagers. Jed turns to us.
Hmm.
Jed turns to grin at us. When did we get so old, huh? Jed, mm, Jed, what the fuck? I I glance up and down the line and find that we really are the only adults waiting for the ride.
Huh.
Speak for yourself, mate. Ray teases him back, earning a playful punch in the arm. When we were younger, bumper carts were the coolest place to hang out at the fair. I explained to the boys as the memories hit me. We spent a lot of time here. It was always so much fun. Sarah let out a snort and laugh. Yeah, all the boys would hang around trying to ride with the girl they liked or just trying to impress her in their car. She gives me a mischievous smile. If I remember correctly, girl, why is you alright now? If you give away something about the game, I might have to fuck you up. You always had a flock of them trying to catch your eye, didn't you? Remind yourself,
Oh.
why is you Kevin? I'm not surprised, Grace says with a small nudge before I can say
Huh.
anything. Well, that's how it is. I'll get my best shot at impressing you, he adds quietly this time. I return his smile and run a finger down his chest to stop. Hold on. Wait a minute. I return his smile and run a finger down his chest to stop that thought in his tracks. Oh, you really think I'm gonna let you drive? I tease him. He helps her laugh and raises his
Huh.
eyebrows at me. I guess I was wrong. So wrong. It doesn't take much longer for the bumper cars to come to a stop, and we're in the next group of people to be let through. Ray lets me ahead of him, and I slip into the driver's seat while he gets in beside me. He clicks the seatbelt into place before giving
Uh.
me a look. Please don't get me killed. He, with a smirk, takes the wheel. I take the wheel in both hands, feeling for the pedals beneath my feet. Hold on tight. The alarm buzzes to signal the ride has started. I push my foot down on the accelerator. The car launches forward and Gray places a hand against the front of the car to stop himself from flying
Ah.
forward. Whoa, easy now. My attention is elsewhere. My sights set on one thing. I search for the arena for my targets as I make a lap, finally spotting the familiar heads of Sarah and Jade on their side. Spinning the wheel, the car spins in the other direction. I put my foot on the gas, my eyes fixed on the pair. Jed eyes widen in terror as we approach, but Sarah only smirks and clutches the wheel, ready to meet us head on. This is a yearly tradition for us and has been since we were teenagers. I put my foot down and the car goes faster, narrowly avoiding the other giggles, the other giggling couples as I head for our target. We slam into the other cars with full force, sending it spinning until it wedges in between the two opposing cars. Sarah shrieks while I pump my fist in the air, victorious. After that, we team up and take on the other drivers, our laughter echoing through the arena, while both Gray and Jed cower in the passenger seats. When the riot finally comes to an end, Sarah and I link arms and head for the exit, my stomach aching with laughter.
Ugh.
I blame you, Gray points a finger at Jed, who looks like he's about to be sick. Oh, come on now, it wasn't that bad. I giggle and take Gray by the arm, completely forgetting any awkwardness I had about it last night. We spend some time on the booth decks, shooting targets and tossing rings over the plastic clouds. Jade wins an enormous teddy bear for Sarah, one that almost looks big as her. While they continue playing games, winning prizes, I glance over I glance around the fair looking for something else to do. Hey look, let's go to the Ferris wheel. Yeah, I need the Ferris wheel scene. Let's get it. I'll pull on Gray's arm, still high on adrenaline from the
Uh,
cars. I'm not sure that's a good idea, he starts to say, but lets me pull him along regardless. It'll be fun, I declare. We pay the ticket price for the Ferris wheel and head up onto the platform, waiting for the next car to come down. Seeing Sarah's knowing look, we don't all sit together. Instead, we break off into two groups. Gray seems a bit apprehensive when our car comes down, after Sarah already shoved Jade inside the previous one. I happily take a seat and watch as Gray climbs inside as well. It starts to move almost immediately, and I look out over the street, seeing the rides, vendors, and hundreds of people enjoying them all. It's almost a full minute before I realize Gray is silent, barely moving at all. Don't tell me this thing got afraid of heights. Are you okay? I asked, ducking to catch a glimpse of his face.
um,
It's just that I'm not so good with heights. This nigga. You can attempt to scale my two-story building, but Ferris wheels is too much, I asked in disbelief. Gray attempts a
hmm,
smile. To be fair, this goes a lot higher than two stories. I feel horrible. I was so excited about getting on the ride that I hadn't even given him a chance to say anything. I'm sorry I didn't know. I start to
hmm,
apologize. It's okay. It's fine. He takes a breath, putting on a brave smile just to distract me so I don't think about it. I'm okay. Yeah, go ahead and take that in. I reach out and take his hand, holding it tight. He squeezes my fingers, his warmth seeping into my skin. How's this? I asked, ignoring the butterflies in my
uh,
stomach. Better, definitely better. The wind whips my hair around my shoulders. Gray reaches up to brush a few strands away from my face.
hmm,
You look really pretty up here, under the lights, he says. A shiver runs down a shiver runs through me when I can't be sure it's caused by his touch or the cold wind. You look pretty good up here too. It's a beautiful night, and as our seats on the Ferris wheel gets to the top, it stops, giving us an amazing view. So I didn't know about Sarah and Jed. I asked Gray. So no, my bad. So did you know about Sarah and Jed? I asked, looking at the cart next to ours.
hmm,
Not until tonight. He says pretty private about things. He's pretty private about things like that. When he sees me frown, he gives me a
huh?
small nudge. Does it bother you? He asks. No, not at all, I say. Then I pause. I just don't want her to get hurt. She tends to jump into things without thinking them through.
Uh,
I can tell now you I can tell you now that Jed thinks over every single little detail before deciding what anything to do anything like this. I think Sarah will be good for him. I turn and give him a little smile. You're not going to miss having him all to
hmm,
yourself. To be honest, I think I spent more time with you than him these past couple weeks. He says, leaning his shoulder against mine, and I'm not complaining. A little buzz goes through me at the contact, but a feeling of doubt soon drifts over to scatter all of that. What if I start to speak and then pause, wondering if the question is a good idea. Deciding just to go for it, I let out a sigh and start again. Uh-oh. What if there was something that she hadn't told him? Something important. Are you snitching on him? Are you snitching on her, bro? Hey, yo! Or maybe she just tested the water. So see. Something important that might change the way he thinks about her. Gray frowns a little, but doesn't seem to think too far into it. Still, I find it difficult to meet his
uh,
eyes. I think that's as long as she's honest with him, she'll be he'll be able to overlook it, he says softly, holding my gaze. He's really crazy about her. He looks at me in a way that leaves me unsure as who exactly he's talking about. My hand starts to sweat, and I wonder if he notices the way they're shaking. I hesitate for a long while, the words sitting on the tip of my tongue and refusing to leave. I'm the reason you were arrested that night. It's my fault you were expelled from school. My fault your entire future was ruined. We ain't gotta say all that. We just gotta say, I'm butterfly bag. I called the cops. I ain't set you up. That's all we gotta say. All that. mm-mm. What if she what if she knew telling him was the right thing to do, but she couldn't bring herself to do it for whatever reason? I know I'm playing with fire, but I just can't help myself. I have
Hmm.
to ask. It sounds like she's scared of being rejected. I wipe my palms off my clothes and then casually I can dust her. Maybe her developing feelings for him was unexpected, to say the least, and now she doesn't want to lose him. I might be imagining things, but I swear the corners of Gray's lips twitch upward slightly. Quite a dilemma. Sounds like she could use a little more trust. I swallow hard. Would he still feel this way if he knew the extent of the damage I've done to him? Surely not everything can be
Huh?
forgiven. Shouldn't that be left up to him to decide? I clench my mouth shut I wave as the wave of guilt crashes over me. Maybe she just needs a little more time. Silence befalls the two of us as our compartment sways gently
Hmm.
into the night. We're going back down, Gray mumbles, interrupting my thoughts. I let out a small sigh of relief, felt good. He takes my hand to help me off the ride when we come to a stop, and I can't bring myself to let go. I don't want the time with him to end. Surely it wouldn't hurt to stretch out the night a little further. Man, we ain't getting no
Oh.
fucking Ferris wheel scene. God damn it. It definitely has to go on the roller coaster next. We definitely have to go on the roller coaster next time, he declares, tilting his chin towards the ride further down. A chill runs through me at the very idea of it. I can hear the screams from here. He starts heading towards the ride, but I refuse to follow, letting our hands break apart as I firmly plant my feet on the spot. Oh no, that's one I'm not going on. I say stubbornly, crossing my arms over my chest for good
Hmm.
measure. Hey, if I went on the Ferris wheel, then you can do the same. Then you can do the roller coaster. Gray coaxes me, his eyes
Hmm.
bright. You have to trust me. I thought you were scared of heights, I protest. Gray chuckles. It's a roller coaster. It sits on a railing. It's different from being stuck in a suspended cart. He holds his hand out to me and I eye it warily. Last time went on a roller coaster, I was 10 years old. And after I got off, I was sick to my stomach, throwing up a hot dog and cotton candy dinner in the nearest trash can. I really don't want to repeat myself. I really don't want to repeat of that, especially not in front of Gray. But the way he's looking at me, so determined, makes me want to take his hand. Finally, my shoulders slump in defeat, and I let out a huff of air. All right, I sigh, slipping my hand onto his palm and letting him lead me towards the line for the ride. To my absolute horror, we end up in the front seats of the first car, and I can't stop myself from shooting Gray a withered glare. You'll be fine, he says with a laugh. We secure ourselves in place, handing my hand shaking like crazy as I grip the sides of my seat and close my eyes
Oh.
tight. Amaya, open your eyes. I shake my head. Mm. Teeth clenched tight. Don't trust me, he laughs. I ask my I crack hold on. Don't you trust me? He laughs, and I crack my eyes open just to glare at him. I really hate you now, right now, I say, but the eyebrow he raises at me, laughing at myself before long. I gas a little bit. I gas a little when the cars begin to roll, my heart thumping as a hammer in my chest. Up we go, the slow ascent only adding to
Huh.
my nerves. Here we go, Gray says excitedly, as we reach the top, and now I know it's too late. There's no going back from here. There's another rumble, the shriek of metal, and then the roller coaster lurches forward, sending us dropping straight down before we go up once more and through the double loop. My hair is whipping around my face like crazy, and I'm pretty sure I'm screaming, though I can't hear anything above the screech of the roller coaster. We go up once more and then through a corkscrew before finally making it to the end. The car slowly coming to a stop beside the platform. I sit there for a moment stunned until Gray nudges me and helps me out of the car. When we finally make it off the ride, I take a deep breath. My throat is hoarse from screaming. My legs are jelly, my face streaming with tears from the wind. But I can't stop myself. I can't stop the smile that breaks across my face. That was so much fun. Looks like someone enjoyed herself. Let me do that again. Looks like someone enjoyed herself. Gray chuckles as he comes beside me and puts an arm around my shoulders, leaning in close enough to whisper in my
Huh?
ear. See what happens when you trust me? The warmth of his breath skitters? Skitters, yep. Okay. Skitters across my skin, and my stomach lurches for another reason entirely. You're a walking contradiction, you know that? I accuse him as we walk away from the ride. You hate needles, but you have piercings. You don't like heights, but a roller coaster is a walk in the
Hmm.
park. Everyone has their fears, don't they? He grins at me, removing his arm to rub his hands together, warding off the cold. I suppose they do, I say wistfully.
Hmm.
I still haven't figured out yours, he adds, giving me a look that suggests he hopes I might spill my fears here and now. I force a smile, brushing the sentence off as I walk ahead. The thing I fear most right now is the one thing I can't tell him. My fear is him finding out who I really am and me losing everything. Walking past the food stalls, my stomach grumbling over all the delicious smells, I stop suddenly. A group of people heading towards us, a group of people who look oddly familiar. Then it clicks. Oh, fuck! Hopefully they don't remember you. Shit. Every single one of them is a member of the old Academy gang. Oh no, I say before I can stop myself, looking around wildly for somewhere to hide.
Uh.
Is everything okay? Gray asks as he comes up beside me. Yeah, there's just someone I don't want to see. I tried to explain, panic rising
Hmm.
in my chest. Let's go this way. Taking my hand, Gray pulls me behind a row of booths, separating us from Sarah and Jen. It's dark. It's dark back here, and I hope we're hidden away well enough. I lean back against the wall of the booth, letting out a long breath. That was way too close.
Huh?
Who was that? He asked, his warm breath filling the space in between us. A client of mine, I say. A lie comes easy. Once she gets started, she just doesn't stop talking, and I didn't want to ruin our night. He shakes his head and grins as though all of that worrying was for something so insignificant. If only he knew
Hmm.
the truth. She's probably gone now. He peeks around the side of the booth, but I put my hand on his arms before he can leave. I can't afford to take any chances. Gray, I say
Uh.
quietly. Yeah? Did you have fun tonight? A smile breaks across his face, and I don't stop him when he leans in closer, positioning a hand against the wall beside my
Hmm.
head. It just so happens that I did. And I know you did too. His lips quirks up to
Huh?
the side. Quirks to the side. You see what happens when you trust me? His smile fades a little when he pulls back, his eyebrows knitting together as he looks at me.
Uh.
You do trust me, don't you? Ah, shit. I forced a laugh trying to make the light of the dangerous situation. Should I? You're not exactly a choir. I'm gonna go choir boy, chore boy, whatever. Unaffected by my teasing, Gray has the straightened look on his
Hmm.
face. That hypothetical we were talking about earlier, the one with Sarah and
Hmm.
Jed. Let me make this clear. Oh, oh! If it were me, I would want you to be I would want to be trusted. I would want there to be no secrets. I I'm at a loss for words, not expecting Gray to bring up our conversation again so suddenly. Will I? The sun starts. Uh, my phone starts buzzing in my pocket. I fumble as I try to pull it out, almost dropping it on the ground in the process. When I answer, Sarah's voice drifts through the receiver.
Hmm.
Hey, where are you guys? Oh, we're just walking around getting some air, I say, ducking under Gray's arm and taking a few
Hmm.
steps away. Jen and I are gonna leave. Will you be okay? She asks. Yeah, it's fine. It's not a far walk, I assure her.
Hmm.
Great. Have a good night, she hangs up. I pocket my phone and turn back to Gray. We should get going. I have to finish work on costumes
Hmm.
tomorrow. He dips his head, stepping towards me. I'll walk you home. Oh, you don't have to. I start to protest, though he's already started
Uh,
walking. I insist. Oh, shit. If you don't tell this man, damn. He leaves a, he leaves the, oh, my, not he. We leave the fun fair together. Each one of us, shut up, Devon. Damn, nigga. Hold on, let me get my break in. Let me stretch. All right, we leave the fun fair together. Each one of us oddly quiet. The walk back home. Each each one of us oddly quiet on the walk back home. Both lost in our thoughts. I can't stop thinking about Gray's confrontation in the alleyway. Clearly, I need to say something, anything. If I can't come completely clean, there's still room to be more honest with him. As we approach the boutique, I break the silence, standing just outside the door to my building. Hey, can I tell you something? Gray nods. His stormy eyes oddly bright as they shine beneath the streetlights. There's something I've been keeping from you, a secret. Oh, Gray asks. Though he does raise an eyebrow, his expression seems significantly less surprised than I would have thought. Although I guess this early on in relationships, it's normal to have some things about yourself you'd rather keep hidden. Mine just have a lot more to do with Gray than I would like to let
hmm.
on. And what would that be? I can't tell you yet. I say flatly. At the sight of his new, at the sight of his gaze, I wrap around my arms myself in an attempt to draw out comfort from the touch. I want to, and I know you say you want me to, so it seems perfectly clear that I should, and yet I'm scared, Gray. I'm so scared. Do you think you could be patient with me? I know it's a lot to ask. For a moment, I could have sworn I was about to lean in. He was about to lean in and kiss me on the cheek, but instead he steps back, shoving his hands. Oh, no! Shoving his hand in his pocket.
Oh.
I'm not a patient man. Oh, I want to be able. I want you to be able to come clean. I hate that there's something coming between us. Come on, be patient,
Oh.
nigga. Damn. But I'll give it a shot. And I appreciate you for telling me this much. More than you know. Relief floods through me and I release a breath. I didn't even realize I was holding. I know I'm not out of the woods yet, but if there's a weight, but there, what the fuck? But it's as if a weight has been lifted off my shoulder. Maybe we can hang out again sometime soon. I'm dropping off costumes at the academy Monday afternoon, and I can use your hand. Why in the fuck would you have him helping you out, knowing Nikki gonna be there? I, I guess, and could use a hand. They're really heavy. Gray chuckles softly. So you're using me for unpaid labor, are you? No, no, I'm saying. No, no, I say. Scrambling. I'd almost just like the company, I swear. His laugh deepens and he shoots me a
Oh.
smirk. Sweet dreams. I'll see you then. I watch as he turns and walks back down the street, heading for home. Thankfully, for how things went, there's no hoping, confessing. The whole truth will go just as well. All right. Why is still more chapters? All right. We gonna do this last one. We're gonna do chapter 14, and we gonna see if this is. It's probably not. I ain't gonna hurt you. Ooh, my brain hurting. God damn. All right. I'm calling it though. He gonna help her out with dropping the shit off, and then Nikki gonna get on his ass, and it's just gonna expose the whole thing. Watch this. Yep. Tape 100.
Oh.
You were kidding when you said these costumes were heavy. Ray groans as he slips another garment bag over his shoulder. There's a lining ruff around his neck and a Renaissance style hat on his head, giving him the look of a kid who just rummaged through someone's costume box and gotten lost in it.
Uh,
What did you make them out of? Lead? He asked. It's not a material that's heavy. It's not the material that's heavy. I stifle a giggle and push him towards the door. Those dresses have about 14 different layers. Make them true to the time period the play is set in. Did you know that fabric choices in the Renaissance era were a huge part of showing off someone's status? I continue, getting swept into my passion for the subject. And of course, back then when they didn't even have zippers, so people were literally sewn into their outfits. Imagine always needing someone else to get you in and out of the clothes. I giggle at the thought, and Greg gives me an impressed look as he comes up beside me. Well, you certainly know your stuff, he says with a grin. And if you ever need it, I'm always ready to help you undress. He wiggles his eyebrows suggestively, and I scoff at the remark, doing my best to smother my laughter. I adjust the bags that are slung over my arm as I pull the front door shut behind me and ensure it's locked. Ray holds the door of the waiting taxi open for me, and we bundle into the back seat. The costume's much too heavy for the carry all the way to Cleaner Academy. We sort ourselves out between the garment bags, hats, and shoes, and when the car takes off down the road, I look over at him and say thoughtfully, "You may not care about fashion, but these kind of details are important, especially when it comes to Academy production." Gray raises an eyebrow at me, and I'm well aware of that. I'm I'm stunning, huh? I'm strung tighter than usual. I just really want everyone to like these outfits. First of all, who says I don't care about fashion? You seen the way I dress. He gives me a crooked grin. I know he's teasing me, and I find it difficult to stop the smile that spreads across my face. It's true enough, his style does suit him. Second, who cares what a bunch of Academy snobs think about a couple of dresses and tunics? With a sigh, I look out the window, watching the familiar buildings pass us by wistfully. I'm just nervous, that's all. Wringing my hand together in my lap, I do a last minute count of all the pieces in my head and pray I haven't forgotten anything. If people like these costumes, then they'll come to me for other events, I explain. There's Academy Ball, the graduation dinner, and future theater productions, to name a few. Something settles on my chest like a paperweight. Images of the worst case scenarios washing over me. And if they don't like them, Grace surprises me by reaching over and taking my trembling hand in his, holding it tight. They're gonna love them. How could they not? After all, the effort you put into them. I let out a small exhale, smiling at him in return. Thanks. I hope you're right. The taxi turns the corner, rumbles along the road, getting closer and closer to our destination. Of course, I understand what reputation can do for a business, Ray says, absentmindedly, looking out the window ahead of us. Speaking of business, I say I, mm, I say I adjust my grip, but I don't want to let go of his hand. I notice more people around the basement than usual lately. He gives me a look from the corner of his eye, one that I can't quite decipher. Who would have thought so many people were into board games? I add with a shrug. His lips curve in a way that means nothing but trouble. His eyes gleaming with
Oh.
mischief. Mischief. Oh, you'd be surprised, he says. I thought that after our little game of Jumble, you might be interested in other games. I squeeze his hand in surprise, not missing the insinuation. Having spent so much time around him lately, I learned to exactly no, I learned to expect that some kind of flirtatious remarks will always follow that smile of his.
So y'all dating
No. Uh, but Sarah and Jed are. Ain't
now?
that crazy? These niggas girlfriend and boyfriend
Yeah,
official.
they left y'all to go fuck.
Man. Alright, I'm gonna go with. Only if you're the one teaching me the rules. I flirt right back. My mouth hooking hooking up at the side. Rain leans closer, a subtle state of his cologne drifting over me when it brushes a few strands of black hair from my
Uh,
face. Trust me, I wouldn't let anyone else tell you what to do, he said softly, though his eyes burnt with intent. My breath sticks in my throat as I met him head on. I worry for a moment that the driver might overhear us, but then decide just as quickly that I don't care. Neither would I say, keeping my eyes locked on his. The air between us just changed. The air between us is charged with electricity, bringing goosebumps to the surface of my skin. Surprisingly, Gray pulls back first and huffs a laugh, leaning back against the leather of his
hmm.
seat. Glad to hear it. I feel the car slowing down, I peek out the window and to find where to find we're just arriving at the academy. Finally, I let out a breath. After gathering everything up from the back of the taxi, we head towards the gate of the school. Classes are finished for the day, though Nikki had messaged me to say drama class would be rehearsing in the auditorium until dark. Gray stuffs his hands into his pocket, casually looking around.
Huh.
Feels a lot less intense since last time we've been here. I stifle a chuckle. Well, last time we jumped out the window to get away from one of the teachers. He grins at me, his eyes lifting up
Huh.
in at the corners. I do it again. How about we enter the school like normal people this time around? I offer. He politely bows and gestures towards the
Oh.
entrance. After you, milady. I roll my eyes in at him with a smile. We enter the auditorium. I instantly spot Nikki. Okay, yeah, this finna go down. If bro gonna know what he look like. All right. I instantly spot Nikki in front of the stage, watching over a group of kids as they rehearse the scene. I recognize it at once. The infamous death scene. I watch transfixed as Juliet picks up the fake dagger and stabs it into her stomach. A ripple of red ribbon streamed from her abdomen in a theoretical portrayal of blood, and I'm glad to know that the costumes won't be ruined by any fake blood on the night.
Uh.
Can we put these down somewhere, Gray? Gray mumbles from beside me. My arms are about to break off. With an amused shake of my head, I led the way down the steps in the middle of the building, past rows and rows of seats. and few spectators that have come to watch the rehearsal. I watch Nikki's form grow closer as we approach, and a thought suddenly trickles into my mind. Oh, now you think about it. How am I supposed to explain to him that the Phantom of all people is here to help me deliver the costumes? And even worse, that we're friends. I've spent so much time worrying about the costumes that I haven't even come up with a way to avoid the topic. I mean, upon hearing our footsteps, Nicky turns and smiles wide, his eyes going straight to the bags in our
Ah.
hands. They're here, he exclaims loud, enough for the actors to pause their
Huh.
scene. Thank you so much for bringing the stuff down here, Amaya son. Oh. I mean, no. Oh, fuck. No problem, I say with a forced smile, stepping in front of Gray to block him from the view. This spell's been this spell since he stands over half foot taller than I am. I don't know why you even tried, but I don't know what else to do. At least I can be sure that Nikki won't recognize him from appearance alone. Gray shouldn't be able to recognize him either. Nikki was much shorter in his teenage years and definitely has less
Hmm.
facial hair. You can put them down in the first row. I'll have the actors try them on while you're here to make sure they're all okay. Nikki Nikki asks as he takes one of the bags from me and leads the way. After placing the costumes down over the seats and directing them to the right people, Nikki lets out a satisfied sigh and turns to Gray.
Ah.
I don't believe we met. I'm Nikki, he says with a smile, shaking Gray's
Oh.
hand firmly. I'm. Ooh, he's just a new friend of mine. I reply, stepping in between them. So, how are rehearsals going? I asked. Gray gonna call you out on that shit. I asked with a forced smile. Nikki frowns a little, giving Gray a second look before shaking his head
Huh.
and grinning. Excellent. I say we're almost ready to we're almost ready for a performance next week. After a couple of dress rehearsals, of course. That's great, I say, and I'm truly glad to hear it. We walk with Nikki over to the front of the stage, glancing over the props and set pieces. The Academy really hasn't held back for this production. Everything looks so professional and well
Hmm.
made. You stop by on opening night, won't you? I promise I'll save you a seat. You think Gray gonna take us fighting? Watch this. Let's see.
Huh.
I'm sure you enjoy seeing your work in action. I'll be there. I bob on the spot, smiling broadly. If the glimpse I got earlier is anything to go by, the play is going to be amazing.
Ah.
Great, I'm looking forward. You can sit with me, he says with a smile. I know that nigga get mad. Hold up, beside me, I catch a hit of something, something in Gray's demeanor as he shifts around. The actors begin to emerge in their costumes, and I take out my portable sewing kit, making some small adjustments here and there. Gray takes a seat in the audience a few rows back, pulling out his phone while he waits. I felt bad for interrupting him before. It was rude of me. But I just couldn't risk Nikki finding out who he was and spilling everything. Overall, the costumes fit great, and they look amazing. I get a glimpse of the actors on stage with them under the different lights, and the bubble of pride swells within me. I did a really good job.
Um.
I've been meaning to ask you something, Nikki. I asked after a little while, coming to stand beside me. From the corner of my eye, I see Gray look up, and I know he's watching the two of us. What is it? I asked, ignoring the weight of
Hmm.
Gray's gaze. I wondered if you would come and meet me for a drink sometime this week. Lord, jeez, you doing this in front of this nigga? All right, let's see what happens. It's been so long since we spent any time together. It might be nice to catch up. Oh, sure, that would be nice. I say a little call on
Huh.
the spot. Fantastic. I look forward to hearing all about this boutique of yours. I really hope you tell me everything. I'll tell you anything you want to know. I say with a smile, sparing a glance at Gray, who has returned to his phone. Okay, cool. We should head off, I say Nikki, noticing him follow my gaze. We'll leave you to rehearsals. Nikki nods. I don't miss the final look he throws at Gray, before he smiles at
Hmm.
me. Of course, thanks again for the costumes. They really are perfect. After saying our goodbyes, Gray and I head out of the auditorium, neither of us speaking as we reach the street. There's a tension between us that wasn't there before, and I hate the way it feels. The sky overhead us quickly, darkening, a chill lingering in the air. I've already called a taxi, though it should take a bit before it
Huh?
arrives. Old boyfriend, he asks. I can tell by his tone that he's less impressed by what happened back there, and to ask if Nikki is my boyfriend, that's really odd. No, it's just a whole old classmate. I look at him in the eye and smile, trying to sound
Hmm.
casual. Is that so? He raises an eyebrow, and I know he doesn't believe me. I don't reply, and I'm thankful that he seems to take a hint and says no more about it. As we walk down the street, he shoves his hand in his pocket, suddenly letting out a soft laugh.
Ah.
I remember this place, he says as he slows looking
Hmm.
around. You know, back in the day, I had a crush on an academy girl. I hate this nigga, bro. This nigga still don't know it's me, bro. It's blowing me, bro. He even saw my picture and still don't remember. Like, come on, bro.
You still don't remember?
Yes, look what he said. He said, you know, back in the day, I had a crush on an academy girl. Nigga, that was me. What are we talking about? You saw my picture. Oh, I turned to look at him, surprise written all over my face. This is news
Huh.
to me. Yeah, you kind of remind me of her. He says with a dip of his head. He toes around in the front. He toes, wait, he toes the ground in the front of him, giving me a sly smile. I rack my brain, trying to remember if I ever saw one of the academy girls with him. Not sure, I never did. Ooh, she blowing me too. Both of them blowing me, bro. Come on. What was she like? I asked, hoping that he'll give me a clue. She was stubborn, he laughs. A real pain in the ass. My eyebrows dip in the middle. He said that I reminded him of this girl, and now I don't quite know whether to take that as a compliment or not.
Huh.
Okay, but you know. But she was also funny, brave, and beautiful, he adds. His mouth quirks at the way I frown, though I don't know what he has to be so amused by. I still can't figure out who the girl
Hmm.
was. We ended up in this very bush once, hiding from a few gang members. I was trying to do something nice by returning the phone she lost, and in return she bit my head off. He said, smiling at the memory. Oh, I suppose I do know that girl after all. She was me. When I don't say anything, Gray steps closer, his pale hair falling into his face when he stares me
Oh.
down. Amaya, son. He says my name, and I can't stop myself from looking at him, tumbling deeper into those stormy gray
Um.
eyes. You trust me, don't you? He asks, hold on. He had asked the same question that night of the fun fair, and I evaded the question. I'm still not quite sure of my answer, and it doesn't help that something about this situation feels different. You seem to put a lot of weight on those words. Is it so important to you? I
Eh.
asked. It is. Without trust, what else do you have? But it takes me time to
Let him
build that
cook now.
trust. But it takes time to build that trust. Doesn't it? I say, rebutting him gently. As our eyes meet, silence befalls us both. Our gaze is charged with emotion, with so many things unsaid. Yes! That's NSD! What is good? A screenshot, nigga. Yes, sir! Hold on. Let me get that corner. Yeah! Type shit, type shit. He leans in, a hand on my waist. I don't stop him. My eyes, my heart's beating beneath my chest like the wings of a tiny hummingbird. Gray, wait, I stammer. I never expected to fall for him so fast. I want this so badly it hurts, but still, our first kiss shouldn't happen like this.
Hmm.
Hmm. He draws out. His nose brushes mine. His warm breath sending a ripple of chills off across my skin. My eyes closed, lashes flittering across the tops of my cheeks. I want him to. I want him close, too close. Ah, I want him to close that gap between us. I want him to kiss me, but he has to know everything first. My body drawn closer, my breath staggers, waiting for the moment our lips will touch. Oh my fucking goodness, they ruined the scene! All of a sudden, the taxi pulls up, and my mind reels itself back in. Ooh, fuck you. Panic hits me harder than a freight train, and I pull away from him. Fuck ass taxi. What am I doing? I can't do this. I shouldn't be doing this. When it, when I've been lying all like this, all all this time, just tell him. Oh, ooh, I'm gonna kill this bitch. She the reason we got more chapters. She won't tell this nigga. God damn. I'm sorry, I say before I enter the taxi and close the door. Street trends, please. I tell the driver. Ray silently watches me as I leave without him.
Oh my god,
Huh?
bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Let me read that again. Gray silently watches me as I leave without him. Are you telling me you hopped in the. Let me just read it. Alright. And a feeling of guilt and remorse eats away at me. I don't see Gray for the rest of the week after I ditch him. What the fuck? You hopped in the fucking taxi and left that nigga? Oh! She's worse than I thought. Oh my fucking goodness. She's a bitch. Oh my god. And she sucks. She sucks. Oh, she's trash, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. I don't see Gray for the rest of the week. That nigga does not like you. I ditched him. What? Yes, I'm on my steak. How much steak you have? How many wraps you have?
Hmm?
How many wraps did you have?
Two.
How much steak you got left?
There we go.
Alright, hold on. I don't see Gray for the rest of the week after I ditch him, but I know that he's been around. It's like there's something in the air whenever he's on premise. He's on the premise. I can feel like electricity cracking against my skin. I still hear the group of their usual nights. Once or twice, I've run into Gray's friend they, uh, as they've arrived to play games. They're always polite, and after Gray banned them from drinking on the premise, they're fairly well behaved, so I have no complaints. All of them except Ivan, of course, but luckily I haven't run into him again since the night he showed up drunk and missed the game of Dragon Den. And then there's Gray itself. I've been avoiding him, and I think he's been doing the same to me. I guess after leaving him like that without any explanation would make anyone a little peeved. I don't know, to be honest. I find myself closing the store later each day, thinking he might stop by, but he never does. Mm. And then I always feel silly for waiting. I should just talk to him first. Sending a message, say I'm sorry, or head down to the basement when he's there alone. Somehow I can't bring myself to do it, and then I decide maybe it's just better this way. Ugh, being lazy. My phone buzzes, my chest clenches silently, hoping it's a message from Greg. Girl, it's not. I check the screen. My heart drops. Sarah's name flashes across the screen. Hey, want to catch a movie tonight? I haven't heard from you all week. I can't, sorry, I'm buried under work. Boo. Let me know when you're free to hang out, of course. I lay back on the sofa and let my phone drop beside me before I lose myself in another episode of Super Yacht Singles. I feel bad about lying to my best friend, but I'm really not in a social mood and I don't want to have to explain to her what's wrong. Because when it comes down to it, nothing is wrong at all. Nothing was ever going to happen with Gray and I couldn't let it. When my eyes drift over to the bottom shelf of the bookcase, settling on the jumbo box, I try my best not to cry. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So you say you were feeling unsocial. You didn't feel like hanging out with your best friend because you were sad and you're crying. Why are we at the club? Please tell me why we at the club. I swear to goodness, bro, she better not piss me off. Taxi arrives at the nightclub. We hanging out with Nikki. Lord Jesus. Alright. Nikki messaged me earlier
Oh,
today, reminding me that I'd agreed to meet up him for drinks, and I was happy to see his name pop up on my screen. She's not a whore. She likes Gray. She's just being fucking dumb about her
Lord.
feelings. Hopefully Gray don't fucking see them together. Oh, hopefully Gray don't see them together. God damn.
Shit, hope don't Sarah don't see y'all
Yeah, we can explain to Sarah, but Gray going out going out into the world gives me a distraction from everything else going on in my life. Girl, just stay at home. I haven't spoken to Gray all week. I'm determined not to let it ruin my mood. I feel bad about blowing Sarah off last night and then meeting up with Nikki, but it's easier this way. I know that Nikki won't pry. And I can't mope around on my couch watching reality TV forever. The bar we're meeting at is on the Academy territory and used to be a frequent haunt of the gang once they were old enough to drink. I've avoided it for a long time, afraid that I might run into too many familiar faces, but right now I'm not seeing a whole bunch of familiar people at all. In fact, given the look of it, oh my goodness, bro. In fact, given the look of some people hanging around here, I think they might be Riversiders. Get out of there now while you still can before fucking Ivan come around the corner, bro. Ooh. Y'all just turn the light. Wait a minute. What did I just do? I don't know what I just did. Tentatively, I enter the building, looking around Nikki's familiar face. I spot him sitting on a stool at the bar and he smiles when he sees me.
Ah.
There you are, he greets me with a hug and kiss on the cheek.
Mm.
Hey, yo, gesturing for me to sit beside him. Lord Jesus.
Hmm?
What can I get you? Just a glass of wine, thanks. I say as I shrug out of my coat, hang it over the back of my bar stool. Glancing around, I see even more unfamiliar faces inside the bar, and more than a few of them are looking my way, sizing me up. Oh, bro, get out that bar now before bro comes through. Bro. I put my hand back close. The bartender sets a glass in front of me, and I take a long sip of my drink. This week has been strange and much too long. Meeting up with a friend I couldn't have come up at a better time. Nikki smiles, waiting for me to set my glass down again before he speaks. So, how are things with you? How are your business? He asks. How's the business? He asks. And I can tell by his tone that he's genuinely interested. It's going great for the most part, I'm saying. I'm still building up a client base, but I'm sure I'll get there eventually. If your craftsmanship is with the costumes is any indicator, I don't doubt it. Nikki raises his glass to me before taking a sip. It surprises me how much he's changed since before. He's much more with his words. and really grown up. A smile. I smiled, thinking of the costumes I made for the play and feeling a small twinge of guilt. Although I've enjoyed making them, I had my own personal motivation for taking on the job. I have to be honest with you, my intentions when making the costumes weren't entirely noble, I admit. And Nicky cocked his head in interest.
Oh.
Oh, I swallow around the I swallow I swallow around the lump in my throat, giving a nervous laugh. I was hoping that if people like my work, they might commission me to to tailor their outfits for another academy event. Nikki laughs out loud, and though the sound catches me off guard, it chases away a little of the guilt. Geez, Amaya, you have scared me. I thought it was something serious, he grins. Well, hey, the school blog is will be doing a write up on the performance. I'll make sure they include your details in there. Let them know who is responsible for the costumes. Really, I almost choke on my drink in surprise. That would be amazing. He gives me a amused look, his eyes crinkling behind his glass. We're still friends, aren't we? It's only natural to help each other out. I nod. I thought, though my eyes falter a little, I've already helped him out with the costumes for the play. That must be what he's thinking about. What about you, Professor? How's the teaching gig going? He leans against the counter, getting comfortable. Honestly, it's great. The kids are the best part, even though they're always getting themselves into trouble. His eyes light up when he speaks. Oh, what kind of trouble? I encourage him to continue. Well, about a week ago, a couple of boys from my class managed to swipe the keys to the principal's car and fill the air kitchen. Uh, mm, managed to fill the air conditioning unit with confetti. She was furious. He chuckles at the memory and shakes his head fondly. Man, it was near impossible to keep a straight face when she told me about it. I almost wish I had come up with the idea first. It sounds like it sounds just like the kind of things we got up to. We yeah, whatever. I say with a laugh. Do you remember the time we broke into the groundskeeper's shed and covered everything with bubble wrap? Like it was yesterday. He was a good guy, though it was hilarious. I chuckled. Nikki chuckles. What about the time we let ourselves get locked into the library and camped out overnight? Yes, apart apart from Sarah attempting to scale the entire wall of books and almost knocking it over, that was the best night. She was crazy back then. Nikki pushes up his glasses and wipes his eyes as he chuckles. Oh, she still is. I assure him with a giggle. We laughed together, ordering a couple more drinks and reminiscing on all of our old memories, and there are a lot of them. It's good to hear that kids these days haven't changed much, I say after a while. They really haven't, Nikki says. And besides all the mischief, the rivalry with both Riverside High and the Kappa are still going strong. I don't think that will ever change, I admit. Smile slowly fading. Nikki looks away suddenly, clearing his throat a little before he speaks. You know, as much as I love catching up with you, this is also another reason I asked you to meet. He admits as he leans closer. He's talking about Gray. What is it? I asked, feeling a little lightheaded from the wine. I don't know much about you. Huh. I don't know how much you know about the old gang, but there's a few of us who still hang out, keeping an eye on our territory. He starts, and my stomach sinks. I should have known it was something to do with the gang. As as if sensing I'm already beginning to close off, Nicky leans forward with his eyes finding mine. Things started getting bad a few years back, he explains. The Hammer and the Riversiders took over almost our entire territory. That's why I've seen so many unfamiliar faces around here tonight. I say. Nikki nods in confirmation. Most of the gangs were too afraid to stand up against them after you and Sarah left us. Over years, it's been getting worse and worse. I don't know what's this have to do with me, I say bluntly. Nikki runs a hand through his hair before speaking, to seeming to look over the right words. Look for the right words. The gang is still loyal to you, my son. I wanted to ask you if you would come back and fight with us again.
Hell no!
Nigga, this is high
Hell
school
no!
shit. What the fuck? We could take back our turf together. Oh, this nigga piss me off. Nigga, you're a whole ass teacher. You still talking about fucking gang shit. Alright. I'm not doing that shit. Hell no. I left that life behind me 10 years ago. I have a business to think about now. I say sharply, staring. Yeah, what I look like? Fucking genius. I say sharply, staring him down to drive the point home. Nikki hesitates, and it seems like I still have some of my old spirit. Though I can't help but be annoyed that this is the reason he called me here. Was this your plan all along? Fill me with drinks and then press your idea of reforming the gang onto me. No, it's not like that. He holds up a hand in instance, not exactly. Then why don't you explain it to me? I say impatiently, tapping my fingers against the bar. He gives me a look, and it did, if and if I didn't know any better, I'd say he might be impressed. I guess that old gang leader is still there, somewhere inside of me, deep, deep down. It won't be long before the Riverside's presence causes trouble for your business. I guarantee it. He fidgets with his empty glass, rolling at the bottom across the bar. They're out. They're out to own everything there is in the city. They won't stop. And the Capital Gang, I asked. Not sure I want to hear the answer. They've been laying low. The rumor has it that the Hammer has them in the palm of their hands. Whenever the Riversiders come for the last of us, they will, and you can be sure that the Capitol's will be on their side. Mm. But why? Why would they work together? I asked. I mentioned the Hammer and the Phantom have been up to something, right? I think they're planning on getting rid of the last of the Academy loyalists, ridding us from the board completely. I want to believe that Gray wouldn't do something like that, but I know he was like that in his prime. I saw it with my own eyes. But how would he benefit from something like that? He spends his time running a board game group out of my basement. And then again, why is Ivan so involved in the same group? Maybe the game is just a way for him to blow off steam, but I can never be sure when it comes to him. They're dangerous, my son. Moreover than that, moreover so, then, no, his wording fucking me up. Alright, let's restart from the beginning. They're dangerous, more so than they ever were, he says, and I swear I see the hand around his glasses tremble. I'm afraid of what could happen to all of us. I'm not in that shit, man. Nikki has been serious about stuff like this, but I never seen him so scared before. Still, none of this makes any sense to me. I can't, Nikki. I'm sorry. I left the game for a reason. I understand he dips his head, defeat finally watching over him. But if you change your mind, you know where to find me. Thankfully, he drops the topic for the rest of the evening. Alright, okay. Oh no, I gotta make some. I'm not playing. I'm not playing around. That ass. Come on, let's design this shit. We going to the next episode. I don't care. I do not care. All right, next episode. Come on, come on. Give me something good. Y'all, you gave me a few. What's that called? Ah, So, a few scenes we got locked in. It's so weird being back here, Sarah says as we pace the corridors of our of our old high school planner academy. It's the opening night of Remo. Oh my goodness! All right, Romeo and Juliet, and Nikki promised to save Sarah and I a pair of tickets, encouraging both of us to come along. I'm kind of getting used to it now, I say, but my first time coming back here was definitely weird. I think back on the day Gray and I had snuck into the school. My stomach turns unpleasantly. We still haven't spoke since the last time we were here, and I definitely am feeling his absence. Taking in a deep breath, I force myself not to think about it. Tonight is all about supporting Nikki's work with the play and seeing my costumes in action. The rest of the world can wait until tomorrow. Classrooms we pass by are dark, and are the lights all turned off for the evening while everyone gathers in the auditorium for the
Huh?
play. We're so different back in school, don't you think? Sarah Sarah is still talking, her arm looped through mine this time. Speak for yourself. I like to think I've retained my youthful character, I tease her. She snorts loudly and the two of us giggle like high school kids we used to be as we reach the doors of the auditorium and claim our tickets. The place is packed when we enter, both students and parents chatting and finding their seats, all waiting excitedly for the show to start. Though the lights are dim, we find our places easily up in the very front row. I'm just about to sit when a familiar voice calls over to us.
Ah.
You made it. Nikki greets us with a grin as he comes over, and Sarah, I hardly recognize you. Ditto. When did you get so tall, Sprout? When did you get so tall, Sprout? Sarah greets him with a hug, and I hang back as they reunite excitedly. It's been a long time since they've seen each
Huh?
other, so it's good to see all of you. Nikki turns to me. Just wait until you see your costumes on stage. They look amazing. I can't wait. I squeeze my hand together excitedly, glancing towards the red curtains that are currently hiding the stage from sight. Have the garments held up okay during the rehearsals?
Huh.
I ask. He gives a swift nod. They're perfect. No problems at all. And the kids love them. I smile to myself, happy to hear it all. All my hard work is going to pay off tonight, and I'm ecstatic
Hmm.
about it. I was thinking telling my son how weird it is to be back here. Oh shit. Fuck. You and Telly, you fucking lied to this man saying, "Oh, you're back here doing this."
Hmm.
How long has it been now? 10 years. Fucking idiot.
Uh.
Nikki's forehead creases in confusion. But it's not the first time you've been back, is it? Marissa told me the two of you snuck in here a while back. I freeze for a moment, suddenly remembering that I told Nikki that Sarah and I had broken in here when really it had been me and Gray. Hopefully she fucking best friend lock in. Just say yeah. Sarah gives me a sidelong glance before she lasts off the question with a wave of her
Oh.
hand. Of course we did. We didn't get to see much this time. Actually we were actually invited, she says, earning a laugh from Nikki and diverting his attention. I give her a grateful smile when she's not looking and she winks
Uh.
discreetly. Well the show's well the show nah. Well the show will be oh my goodness. Ah! Alright, we gotta lock in. Alright. Well, the show will be starting soon, Nikki says with a wistful look towards the stage. Damn, it's sad.
Um.
All right. He brings his hands together nervously. I should head backstage and give the kids one last prep talk. I'll be right back. He smiles brightly before he hurries off, and Sarah and I sit, making ourselves comfortable on on the surprisingly plush auditorium chairs.
Hmm.
Lying to one of our close one to our ah on your side, bro. Lying to one of our oldest friends. Are you tut tut? My son. Sarah leans closer and whispers. Lying to one of your. I already clicked that. I give her a pointed look. I panicked. I didn't know what else to say. She grins and flips her hair dramatically. Lucky I'm so amazing at covering for you. Though I roll my eyes at her, I can't stop myself from smiling. Despite us teasing each other relentlessly, Sarah, reali- Sarah really is a good friend, and I appreciate her for jumping in back there. I'm glad we came out tonight. I'm glad we came out tonight. She continues. I was getting worried for. I was getting worried you were never going to leave your house again. Of course I was. I've just been busy. That's all. I say dismissively.
Huh?
Busy with Gray, she teases. Busy avoiding him, more like it. Instead, I say no. Busy with work. I've have I've had more customers walking into the boutique. It's really been
Mm.
good. She smiles at that, nudging my shoulder with hers. That's good. I'm happy to hear that for you. I know how hard you work to build up the business. I don't get to say anything else before the chatter of the crowd suddenly hushes as the curtains pull back from the stage. Nikki comes back to take Nikki comes back out to take a seat with us right as a single spotlight flicks on. An excited grin spread across his face. Then the narrator begins her part, and the show begins. Romeo and Juliet is certainly not an unfamiliar story to me, but it is fun to see the props and everything else in the Academy has come up with for production. As I expected. Oh Lord, I need water. Now we got this. Pull through. All right. As expected, they really pulled out all the stops. It really looks like a professional production. Eyes widen when the first of the actors were wearing my costume step out on stage. It looks just as I imagined, better in fact. A wave of pride washes over me as I watch the show, fixated on my work and how it looks on stage against the props and under the different lighting effects. Actors play their parts perfectly, ensuring the attention of the audience through their performances. By the end of the show, my face hurts from smiling so much. I don't even mind the tragic ending. The actors in the performance to find a round of applause. Sarah and I stand with the rest of the crowd, clapping our hands together. That was amazing, I yelled to Nick through the noise. He's smiling from ear to ear. I don't think I've never seen him so happy before. I had to run backstage for a few minutes, but I'll be back. He says with a grin, don't leave before saying goodbye. Nikki darts off and we smile after him. It's funny to see him so excited about something like a high school play, but it's also really sweet. Nikki's a teacher. Who would have thought? Sarah laughs from beside me.
Hmm.
And the drama teacher at that. If you would have told me in high school that his passion was theater, I would have never believed you. She adds. I giggle too, sharing my head in disbelief. I know, right? I'm still having trouble adjusting to the thought. He's such a rascal back then. When the auditorium lights come back on, we pile out into the school hallway with the rest of the audience to wait for Nikki. While we wait, we look over the faculty portraits that are hung up on the wall, pointing out the familiar faces and laughing at old memories.
Oh.
Oh, look, our science teacher is still here. Remember her? Sarah holds a finger up to the glass and the wrinkles to her nose. Yeah, she was awful. I say as I look over her shoulder and find it familiar. Pinched face staring back at me from the frame. Poor kids. I look at the pictures further down the hall as I trail along, finding a few class photos that look familiar. Sarah, check this one out. I wave over to her. Holding a finger up to the glass, I point out two figures in front of the picture.
Oh.
It's us, Sarah squeals, nudging me aside while trying to get a better
Ugh.
look. Oh my god, look at my hair. I can't believe you let me leave the house looking like that, she pouts. I laugh lightly. I think the purple looked great. Maybe you could bring the style back. I love to see you rock. I love to see the look on Jed's face if I did. He grins. Myson over here, Nikki shouts. I turn at the sound of Nikki's voice, finding him standing a few with a few others near the auditorium doors. I've been looking for you, he says with a smile as Sarah and I head over. I want you to meet a few people. Some of them are from these are some of the parents from the school's parent association. I give a small nod in greeting, and they all smile at me while Nikki speaks. They're asking they're asking me who designed the costumes on stage and didn't want to pass up on meeting the designer herself. He grins. That's right, says the well-dressed woman. You did a fantastic job on the costumes. Congratulations. The annual production hasn't been that well dressed in years. Yes, extremely well, especially for especially for the first time working on the show, says the taller one. Couldn't keep my eyes off all the outfits. They were so in. Nope, I'm too tired for this. They were so detailed. A third woman gushes, and the rest of the group all pitch in to give their compliments. Mm, mm, mm. Seizing the moment to promote myself. Yeah,
Let's
go
get to
ahead,
that money.
promote,
Let's get to
girl.
that money.
I'd
Let's
be
get to that.
lying if I said I didn't enjoy the attention. Oh, now I'm intrigued. What else do you do? I say, the same woman says, I design and create my own fashion line, I say proudly. I've only opened my boutique recently, but you're welcome to stop in and see what I have on display. You won't regret, I add, flashing her a smile. In that case, I'll bring my daughter. She needs a gown for the upcoming ball, she explains, and not like one of those department store dresses either, something special. I'd be happy to design something original for her, I say, and the woman looks pleased. And what about for the boys? Another woman asks, do you do formal suits? I nod her, yes, absolutely. Great. I'll be bringing my son by this week too. He also needs an outfit for the ball. I hand out a few business cards with the promise of being able to take appointments whenever they're ready. Even if they, even if I have to shuffle a few things around, worth it in the end. It's worth it in order to snag these kinds of clients. When they say goodbye and head off, Nikki turns to me with a beaming smirk. See, I told you everyone would love your work. He boasts. Yeah, yeah, that was a given. She interrupts. Street Trends is the best boutique in town. I'm surprised. I'm just so happy that people are interested in seeing more. I say with a smile of my own. And I'm excited to see how the boutique grows from here. I think I can safely say we'd love for you to work on the costumes for the production again next year. I know it's a whole year away, but with you becoming so popular, I might have to book in advance. I laugh softly, giving him a fond look. Thanks for the confidence boost, and thank you for inviting us tonight too. I say before turning to Sarah. We should head off before it gets too late. We say our goodbyes, and with a promise to all meet up together again soon, Sarah and I leave the school. Tonight was fun, she grins as we stop on the corner where we'll part ways. Promise it won't be long before we hang out again. I promise. I say with a nod, waving her off. Get home safe. I turn off. I turn in. I turn and head the other direction, shoving my hands in my pocket of my coat as I walk. The night air is cool, but it's nice. It's a nice change from the stuffiness of the auditorium. However, the closer I get home, the more the thrill of the night fades and the mess of the rest of my life starts to creep in. Gray and I haven't said more than a few words to each other since the day outside of the school when he helped me drop off the costumes and Nikki. I wanted to stop him for a chat or even message him, but every single time something stops me. I can't stop myself from thinking that he's been giving me a silent treatment on purpose. The only thing I don't know is why. You did it first. You didn't kiss that man. Approaching my building, I head around to the back door, knowing it'll be probably unlocked since it's one of Gray's usual gaming nights. He's been having them come more often lately, and while I don't mind him using his own space for whatever he wants, his silent presence doesn't make things any less awkward. Using my phone to light the way, I finally make it to the door, my fingers brushing over the handle. Oh, not this nigga. You should have just went to the front door, bro. You blowing me, bro. Oh my fucking god. We already know who this is. Bitch ass nigga. A familiar voice distracts me and I pull back. Turning to find Ivan leaning against the wall. He watches me through the half-lit eyes, dragging on the end of the cigarette. Where you been? Asking casually out. I reply, reaching for the door again and entering the hallway. Out, nigga. The fuck? From the hallway, I can hear Grace game night in full swing downstairs. The thought of him being so close makes my stomach clench tightly. The door doesn't close behind me, so I turn to see Ivan standing in the doorway, still watching me. What do you want? I asked him, my mood quickly going south. That was not a very nice way to speak to an old friend. Oh, shit! Oh, he knows now. Hey, oh, shit. Friend. There's something about his smile that makes me pause. I've always been a creep, but the way he's looking at me now is different. Oh, shit. He's looking at me like a cat who's trapped a little mouse under his paw. You know, I thought you looked familiar. He starts talking again as he walks into the corridor, letting the door shut behind him. And then it came to me. The night of the fight, I was there. Remember? I heard the call you made. Butterfly back. Oh, shit! My skin crawled at the sound of the game name, goosebumps rising to the surface of my skin. How the hell he figured that out? What do you want? I asked again, but this time the meeting is different. Ivan snickers, knowing he's both figuratively and literally got me cornered. Heard you've been meeting with some of your old game mates. That little fella from back in the day. What's his name? He squints his eyes at me. None of your business, I say impatiently, and he's not so little anymore. He lets out a low laugh, as though he finds the situation nothing short of amusing. Either way, it's got me suspicious. Maybe you're thinking of getting the old game back together, he muses. I shake my head. I'm not part of that anymore. I got business to run now, a whole other life. I try to walk upstairs, thoroughly done with this conversation, but then his next words stop me. Is that why you're spending so much time with our friend, the Phantom? He sneers. Or do you just feel guilty for what you did to him 10 years ago? Bitch, you the one! You did something to him too! You better be glad you don't find out, nigga. You don't know what you're talking about. I spit out, my brown eyes narrowing at him. It's your fault the Phantom was expelled from school. He continues. Your fault that half of his gang rejected him. Don't you think I know that? I snapped, my hands balling to fists at my sides instead. Ivan simply grins wider. I can tell that he's enjoying this, you piece of shit. I've been thinking to myself, why would Gray want to be so close with the woman who destroyed all of that for him, he asked. I swallowed nervously around the lump in my throat. Shit. He better not try and blackmail me. I ain't falling for that shit. Feeling my heart beating in my chest a million miles a minute. Because he doesn't know who you are, does he? Not truly. Oh, shit. Ivan steps closer. Hey, back, nigga, back. until there's barely a few inches of space between us. And then he stares down at me, his eyes going cold. Here's how it's gonna go. Butterfly man. You're gonna stay the hell away from your game. I don't care if you think you're not reforming, you stay away anyway. You stay away anyway. He growls at me. Go to hell, Ivan. Hatcha, bitch. You spit back. He laughs quietly, and there's something sinister about that laugh. How about I head downstairs right now and tell your friend Gray who you are and what you did to him? He threatens. Because that's what I'll do if you don't do as I say, sweetheart. You can be sure of that. I say nothing. My tongue sitting uselessly in my mouth. Because what can I say? One wrong move and he surely spilled everything in the grave. I can't have that. I just can't. I haven't been preparing myself to confess all this time, only to have it stolen away by me and thrown in his face. I want to be the one to tell him it should come from me. It should come from me. Ivan assesses me for a moment, his cold gaze melting as his lips hook up on one side. If that all sounds so appealing to you, you can just always work with me. Bring your friends over to my gang. We'll be unstoppable, he said smoothly. You really think I consider that after you just threatened me? I shoot back at him. His shoulders move up and down as he laughs quietly. I didn't think you would consider it anyway. I've seen the way you look at Gray, like a lovesick little puppy dog. Ooh, I swear to goodness. I want to say that so bad, but he gonna take me seriously. Alright, two choices. I can just break your jaw and make sure you can't talk. Man, I wish you was on that gangster shit. It has nothing to do with you. Leave me alone. We going kind. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I turn to leave, but Ivan is faster. He steps in front of me. Damn! Oh, shit. I should have thrown his ass in. You gonna step in front of my path, nigga? In my house? Alright. Let's see what happens. I'll leave you alone, but after I've heard you say you won't go near that old gang of yours again. I already told you I don't have any interest in joining any gang ever again. I spit out in between my teeth. Ivan snickers, drawing himself up to his full height and towering over me before he steps to the side and lets me pass. I dart towards the stairs before he can block me again. Then I glare back at him, determined not to let him think he can get away with this unscathed. I remind you that this is my property, so I think twice about trying to threaten me if I was you. I'm sure your reputation with the police is strained enough as it is. He surprised me by laughing, a long, drawn-out sound, one that sends an unpleasant chill down my spine. You've always been fond of calling the police, haven't you, sweetheart? He says, his tone amused. Try it and see how far it gets you this time. I think they'll find they'll find a few surprises down in your basement if they look hard enough. I'm about to reply to question him about when footsteps on the stairs cut me off. Gray appears, his eyebrows dipped in the middle when he finds us standing alone together, engaged in a heated conversation. He looks taken aback, and I want to say something to tell him about Ivan threatening me, even when I know I can't. Ivan, you're up, he said simply, waiting for the other man to make a move. Ivan gives me one last look before he leaves and says quietly, remember what I said? Ooh, that fucking bitch. I watch him helplessly as he leaves, my heart still pounding increasingly. It looks as though the hammer is back in full force, and this time there's more of a threat than I thought. Oh no. The next evening, y'all ain't talk. Damn. Okay. Next evening, I stand at the top of the stairs to the basement, my eyes firmly fixed on the door below. I can hear the music playing with no chatter. Gray is most likely down there alone. It's time to give. It's time for me to finally do something about the silence between us. Stealing my nerves, I head down the stairs to stand in front of the basement door. I knock on the wood. When I get no answer, I go ahead and push the door open and walk down the stairs. I spot Gray immediately shuffling a pack of playing cards and setting them on the table in the middle of the room. He looks as I enter. He looks up as I enter, and something in his eyes turns hard. Hey, I say tentatively, still hovering near the door. Hi. He spares me a few measly seconds before he goes back to laying out cards and other various pieces of the table. I follow down my doubt and step further into the room, right next to the table. I wanted to talk to you about last night when you saw me and Ivan. I started. It's not what you think it was. Why would I think it was anything? He says tightly. You seemed mad when you left. I thought it might be. I trail off. What do you think it might be? The reason why he's being so unfriendly towards me now. No, I know he's still annoyed. I left him that night. Anyways, I wanted to make sure that everything is okay between us, I say instead. Also, I want to apologize for leaving without you that night. He stops with this. He stops this time, fixing me with those cold eyes. Ooh. Just when I think I'm finally going to get my answer, he shakes his head and moves around the table. Don't worry about it. I have to get everything ready for tonight. He brushes past me and gestures his arm towards the stairs. I turn back towards the stairs, but I don't leave. Instead, I face him head on, determined to get something out of him. And we gotta be up right. And we gotta tell him the truth. We gotta lay everything out before fucking redhead fucking says some bullshit and explains it all wrong. You need to tell him that that motherfucker the reason why you got arrested. I just called the cops. But that motherfucker put the knife in your pocket. That wasn't me. I'm not leaving until you talk to me, I say stubbornly, folding my arms over my chest for good measure. Talk to you? You refuse to talk to me? When you shut me out and take off, Gray snaps back, his eyes suddenly fiery. Whew. I thought you understood our protest. It's not that I don't want to be open with you. I still want to be friends. His nostrils flare wide, his temper getting the better of him. Friends don't treat each other the way you treated me, he growls, his words surprising me. Are you still mad about that night? I blurt out. I don't know. You tell me. He speaks through gritted teeth and now that I know I was right on the money. I said I was sorry. I admit it. I get that. And I get you need time to work out whatever it is that makes you not trust me. I just didn't realize it would hold us back so much that you would freeze up around me and take off running. You're making this really hard. How can we move forward when you're so stuck in the past? He says, his eyes flaring up. I pressed my mouth shut and took a long hard. I looked long and hard at the floor. He's got me there. Yep. Though the mood is absolutely terrible, this is the right time to tell him. Would it be the end of the world? I clenched my hands on my side. Yes, tell him. Does he deserve the truth? My bad. He does deserve the truth. I can totally see where he's coming from, knowing that I've been keeping secrets from him while simultaneously holding back from being with him because of my fears sounds so frustrating. If I were in his shoes, I'd be at a total loss where to go from here. The ball is in my court. I want to move forward together if that's still even possible. I know I can't stop forever, and that I risk losing him the more I try. I lock eyes with those beautiful stormy gray eyes of his, And all I can think of is how much more upset he'd be if I came clean. Once again, I freeze. I freeze up in place. I didn't even get the word out. This is not how I wanted things to go. I wanted a calm, pleasant environment. I wanted to be on his good side. I wanted to feel like we were strong, like we could endure. Just leave. Don't tell me leave. Don't tell me leave. Just to leave. He says with a tired sigh, please. Oh, oh my God. He turns his back on me, and I've lost a resemblance of courage to continue our conversation. Girl, if you can't say nothing, just write a note. Write a note, please. Feeling my heart ache spike, I leave the basement without another word. And we end off of that? Like I can't end off of that, bro. This shit pissing me off, bro. Ooh. Let's see how long. Let's do a check. God, I gotta know. I wanna know. I wanna know. Come on. Please, come on. A woman and her daughter have come to me to commission a dress. Beautiful. This will be perfect for the annual ball. I compliment my client's choice with a smile and make a note of their fabrics for the dress. Silver chiffon over a satin. Navy ball gown. My fingers are already itching to get started. I need to make another appointment for the fitting once I got the basic design sewn up, and from there I can start adding the embellishments and finishing touches I add. The woman and her daughter, a senior at Clanair Academy, thanked me before leaving the boutique. Ever since the play, I've been fully booked. Business has never been better. It's been keeping me busy, and I'm glad for that. This way, I can barely have time to think about the argument with Gray and how he still hasn't spoken to me. I only wish I were busy enough that I didn't think about him at all. Lost in thought, I finish up my notes and look over my appointments for tomorrow. With a smile, I see that I'm completely booked for that day once again. I've already started on half a dozen of dresses for the same ball and a couple of suits. If things continue at this rate, I might have to look into hiring an assistant. A bell above the door jingles, and though it's almost closing time, I turn with a smile to greet another customer. Oh, it's just Sarah.
Huh?
Working hard or hardly working, huh? Sarah smirks as she teases me. I shake my head at her affectionately and grin, still curving my lips. I'll have you know that ever since the academy play, I've been fully booked. My my rest. Mm, 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 mm. I rest my hands on my hip and raise an eyebrow at her. So I say I'm working extremely hard. Well, good for you. Sarah beams at me, coming over to the counter. I haven't heard much from you since then. I thought you might have gone back to your hermit lifestyle, she teases. I was never a hermit, I protest. If you say so. She grins at me, and I poke my tongue out at her in return. Real mature, I know. What are you doing here, anyways? I ask her. I'm just meeting with Jed. She asks. She says as she inspects her fingernails absently. We're going out to a movie. I smile at her. Her and Jed seem really to be getting serious. I never seen Sarah like this with anyone before, but why exactly here? I stress. If Sarah and Jed are going on a date, meeting up at the boutique, and my boutique seems like a strange way to get together. Well, I was thinking you and Greg could come with us. She adds. Ooh, no. She adds as she looks up at me. I bite down my bottom lip awkwardly. I don't think Greg will, but I'd love to come. You think I'll be third wheeling? It's not like I have any other plans. It might be nice to get to know Jed better. He's dating my best friend after all. No way, it'll be fun. Sarah assures me we're going to see the new comedy. It looks hilarious. That's good. I definitely need a laugh after all this work, I say. Mm. Barely a second passes before the front door opens again. I stand up straight and turn to greet. Never mind, it's only Jed. Hello, he greets us awkwardly as he joins two of us at the counter. Sarah watches him expectantly but says nothing. What? He asks as he finally cracks under her stare. She huffs as she pushes herself up to the stool and tiptoes up to kiss him quite quickly. His face goes from a few shades darker, and I grin a little. I guess Jed isn't the biggest fan of PDA. Anyways, Myson, how are you? He asked with a small smile after Sarah sat down again. I'm great, thanks. And you? Can't complain. Especially not with this one around. Aw. He ruffles Sarah's hair playfully and she pouts at him. After successfully fending him off, she says, my son is coming to the cinema with us, okay? Jed looks at me with a wait. Jed looks at me, his face brightening all of a sudden. Oh, that's perfect. I asked Ray to come too. He's oh no. I'm staying at home. See how this. Oh, my stomach drops in an instant. A small bolt of panic runs through me. Oh, you know what? I think I'll stay. I've got a big day tomorrow, I say. And Sarah gives me an inquisitive look. Alright, what's going on? Nothing, I lie. I attempt to plaster on my face, but she gives me a look that tells me that she sees straight through it. My shoulders slump as I sigh. I've had enough to keep this all to myself. It won't hurt for me to tell them to know what's going on between us. Maybe he can help somehow. Gray and I had an argument, I admit, blowing out a long breath. I don't bother telling them about the conversation with Ivan, one dilemma at a time, about Sarah as quirking her head to the side. We almost kissed a couple of weeks ago, and I got cold feet. He probably is mad about that. Sarah's eyes light up, but when Jed makes a small sound, we both turn to look at him. Doesn't sound like something he'll get mad about, he says with a shake of his head. Well, you must know something. Sarah pulls him in the arm. He's your best friend. I don't know anything, I swear. He holds his hands up in front of himself innocently. Well, what do you think I should do? I asked him, hoping he might have an answer. Jed thinks for a second before shrugging his shoulders casually. You can try talking to him again. He might have pulled off by now, he says. This nigga. No help at all. You're supposed to be best friend. Help me out. After looking at his face, which must be more distraught than I had meant it to be, he gives me a comforting smile. Don't worry. I don't think Gray could stay mad at you if he's tried. He assures me with a lopsided grin. What's that supposed to mean? Sarah asks, wrinkling her nose at him. Wouldn't you like to know, Pipsqueak? He teases her and she punches him playfully in the arm. Well, at least come see the movie with us, Sarah says. You might not get a chance to talk with him there. And if not, you already said you could do with a laugh anyways. We going? Man, we going. This gonna be awkward as hell. I guess. She puts it that way, there's no reason for me to refuse. When we arrive at the cinema, Gray is already waiting inside. My stomach gets all bunched up. I'm hiding behind Sarah this whole time, bro. I'm not finna hug you. My stomach gets all bunched up into knots when I see his handsome face. I attempt to smile, but I don't get much from him in the return. Damn. Great. Still ignoring me, I see.
Mm.
Let's get some snacks, Sarah says, right as I hear Jed asking Gray how he's been doing. I wish I could hang back and hear the answer to that, but Sarah isn't giving me the option. We head to the candy bar and the smell of fresh popcorn, hot dogs, and chocolate hits me all at once. I glance over the options. I really don't feel hungry, but it might be nice to grab a snack. Just a small sweet popcorn, please, I tell the cashier. Then I decide I'll get something for Gray too. Maybe it'll help sweeten it. He's like, no, I ain't hungry, girl. I should give me a salty one as well. I pay for the tubs popcorn and wait for Sarah to finish ordering her food. Then we'll join Jed and Gray again. Watch this shit. He finna say, no, I'm good. Here, choose, I say, offering both buckets to Gray. There's a slightest pause and a thin, blonde eyebrow slowly rises to match our expressions. He's hesitating. I give him a weary smile, hoping he'll just take the peace offering.
Yeah.
Then he leans over and grabs the salty popcorn bucket from my hands. Salty, huh? I say, guess you're not into sweet.
Hey.
When the mood strikes, I nibble on something sweet. He says in a suggestive tone, but for now, salt it is. I feel like he's making some sort of comment about us in our situation at the moment. I keep quiet instead. The four of us head into the cinema and find ourselves seats. I sit between Sarah and Gray, with Jed. What? I sit between Sarah and Gray with Jed on Sarah's other side. My tub of popcorn sits on my lap, the smell of sweet popcorn floating up into my nostrils. I don't look at Gray, but I feel his presence like a weight on my shoulders. The air between us is thick with tension, and I wish I could just talk to him without interrupting the whole movie. The film finally starts, and when the theater darkens completely, I sink further into my seat and try to enjoy myself. But mine keeps wandering over to Gray. That comment about me freezing up, I guess he's right. I have kept him at a distance because I'm Butterfly Max. We got a lot of unintended history together. And while some relationships may be better off with some skeletons left in the closet, I don't think that applies to ours. Tangled past, I'm hurt badly. He has to know. Before things between us get any more complicated, I have to find the right time to tell him. I breathe out a longest sigh and satisfied with the conclusion. Now let's just hope it's not too much easier than said than done. Eventually I start to relax a little more, even starting to giggle at the film a little. Sarah howls with laughter beside me, and that makes me laugh even more. I can't I can't stop myself from sneaking a glance at Gray, wondering if he's having any fun at all. I turn to I turn to have my eyes meet him, finding himself already looking at me. His expression is indecipherable. Was he thinking about me too? The lights suddenly come on, signaling a short break in the middle of the movie. When the fuck they start doing that shit? What?
Mm.
Quick bathroom break and then more snacks. Sarah declares as she stands and shuffles past me. How much can you eat? I tease her. She simply winks at me before disappearing down the aisle. Gray gets up and leaves too. Fuck. Leave me alone with Jed and who? Wait a minute. Wait a second. Is he asleep? I giggle quietly to myself. I hope he doesn't snore. I decide I should probably use the bathroom now rather than regret it later. How? Enter the bathroom and come face to face with Gray. Wait, what? He looks towards the door right as he puts his hand under the steam of the water from the tap. I realize I stepped into the wrong bathroom. Okay, I was puzzled. I was confused. I thought bro was in the wrong man. Nigga, you are. His eyebrows shoot up in surprise and he pulls back, splashing water from the tap all over the front of his pants. Shit, he curses out loud as he looked down at himself in horror. Laughter escapes me before I stop a hand over my mouth to stop it, and Gray gives me a dry look. What are you doing in here? Look what you done. He said the same. Quickie grabs a couple of paper towels, trying to dry himself. You think that's my fault? I say, still laughing. You should have told me one of the adults. You should have told one of the. Anger! You better calm down. You're not on friendly accords. You clowning him like this? That you soy with stuff. Very funny. He draws. Though I see the corners of his lips twitching. All right. Hysteria, hilarity aside, you probably shouldn't go out there walking around like that. I giggle. You think? Gray asks. This time he's definitely holding. He's holding back his laughter. Oh, this isn't working. He throws a paper towel in the trash can and sighs. I look. I look between us. I didn't bring any jacket. And Gray is only wearing a shirt. Looking around the room, I search for another option. Hey, you could always blow me to dry it out. He said literally might have taken a while. Might take a while, but what other options do we have? I know he's making a joke. When I see the hand dryers on the opposite wall, an idea suddenly hits me. Quickly go into that stall and take off your pants. I order, earning another eyebrow raise in return. What? Are you serious? You know I was only making a joke, right? He asked, his face mixture of hope and confusion. You want me to blow you, right? You want me to blow you, don't you? I say seductively, turning his joke right back around to him. I can't tell if you're being serious or not. Gray narrows his eyes at me suspiciously. It's messing with my head. I'm being totally serious. I step towards him slowly. I need you to take off your pants. We don't have much time. He said, testing the wife. How long do you think it'll take? I act innocently. How long do you think it will take? He shoots back at me. To dry your pants with the hand dryer. About 2 minutes. I say finally, my tone laced with amusement. Gray looks in between me and the hand dryers, finally realizing what I meant all along. Oh, he a freak. He a freaky freaky. And I don't mind. He heads to the nearest stall, and when he hangs his pants over the top of the stall, I grab them and head towards the hand dryer, holding them beneath the warm air. It takes a few minutes to work before the wet patch in the front of the pants is starting to get dry. Another man enters the bathroom and stares at me in confusion. I can't help but give him a weary smile. This wouldn't be an issue if buildings just had unisex bathrooms. Awkwardly, I try my best to ignore anyone inside the bathroom. When the pants are finally dry, I toss the pants back over to him. Here, it's dry, I say. There's some muffled sounds coming from the stall before it opens and out walks Gray. Pants dry and all. Technically, when our friends asked us what took us so long, could you tell them that you were busy blowing me? I swear out loud, I'd love to see Sarah's reaction if I did that. The lights are already dim by the time we take our seats again. The movie has started playing. What were you two doing that took you so long? Sarah whispers at me and she nudges my arm. Nothing. I whisper back in return, though the smile on my face is far from innocent. I catch Gray's eyes again, and this time he smiles and shakes his head at me in amusement. The tension between us had definitely melted somewhat, and I couldn't be more grateful for that. I hope it lasts. I look over at Sarah and Jed and the way they're holding hands, how easily they laugh with each other. As far as I know, Sarah hasn't told him she was part of the game that rivaled his in high school, and the two of them seem to be getting along just fine. It seems to me that even if Jed knew, she likes Sarah too much to care about it, but it's different for them. Neither of them was the leader of the gang, and Gray and I were. Neither of them did anything as horrible as getting one another expelled from school. I drummed my fingers anxiously against the armrest between Sarah and me. When I tell Gray, will he hate me? I suppose we have a good reason to. First, for what I did, and secondly, for letting him get so close to me and knowing him. A pit forms in my stomach as I imagine his reaction. The pain and anger he'll surely feel. Even so, I have to be honest with him. He deserves to know the truth and to decide for himself how he feels about me afterwards. The movie finally ends and we exit the cinema. Sarah reenacting her favorite parts and making us laugh. Reacting. Mm. We step outside into the cool night air, the crowd around us quickly disappearing. I pull my jacket tighter around myself to ward off the bite of the cold wind. Wondering what time it is, I dig into my handbag for my phone. I should probably get home before it gets too late. I still want to try to talk to Grave again before I frown, digging deeper into my bag. I swear my phone was in here. In a panic, I open my bag in front of me and search desperately for the contents. Everything okay? Sarah asked, stepping up beside me. Yeah, I just fell off. Maybe it fell out of my bag in the theater. I'll be right back, I said quickly, hurrying back to the building. I tell the usher I've lost my phone and he lets me back into the empty theater without a problem, telling me I got a few minutes before they start cleaning up for the next session. Rushing down the aisle, looking at my seat. Shit, which one was it again? I go row by row, glancing over the seats. If my phone is still sitting on any of them, but I don't have any look. The lighting is terrible in here, and I was so distracted while we were waiting on the movie that I didn't pay attention to how far back we were sitting. When I reach for the final row, growl beneath my breath, turning with a frustrated stomp. Then I startle when I notice I'm not alone. Lose, lose something? I find Gray pacing the aisles towards me, and his hands in my pocket. His hand in his pockets, and his eyebrows raised. Yeah, I think I lost my phone. I think my phone might have fallen out of my bag, and I can't remember what seat we were sitting in. I confess, feeling like a forgetful idiot. He nods slowly and then points to the row near in the middle. It was this one. Should I call you? You could try, but I put it on silent for the movie. I will say with a sigh. Gray takes out his phone and dials mine. With Gray's help, I find the seat I'm sitting in, but to my annoyance, my phone isn't there. Ducking down, I search the ground in the area, and the floor is littering with popcorn, candy wrappers, and some sticky gross touch my hand. I rather I feel rather silly crawling on my around on my hands and knees while I'm desperate to find my phone. It feels weird to be so dependent on something so small, but I honestly don't know how I live without it. Then I then I finally see it. A couple of seats over, my phone lays on the floor, screen lighting up on the bottom of the chair. I reach out for it and glance at the screen, seeing Gray's name flashing across from it. How many times I hope to see him calling, and now that he is, it's only to help me find the phone that I stupidly lost. Thanks, I say, as I thanks, I say as straightening up and brushing myself off, watching Grace back into his pocket. No problem, he says. Mm. After turning the sound on, I stashed my phone into the pocket of my coat, keeping it close at this time. There was a couple of awkward seconds that passed before I speak again. Can we talk? I finally asked. Yeah, okay. Woo, come on, girls. Tell them, please. I let out a sigh of relief. But now that I said yes, now that he said yes, I don't really know what to say. All I know is that I don't want it to turn into another argument. I hate fighting with you, I say with a sigh. I just want us to be friends again. I don't know, he says quietly as he looks towards the darkening screen, all amusement from earlier disappearing. I'm not sure I can. Dang. Man, you are a monster! Just tell him! Ah, just tell him! Bro, please just tell this man, bro. My heart drops down to my chest. It doesn't mean that. He can't he can't mean that. That really sucks, Gray. The last thing I wanted last thing I want is to lose you. Is it? Because you sure don't act like it. He scuffs, flipping his switch in an instant. My phone rings in my pocket, vibrating against my side, ignoring it, raising my hand in front of me. I'm trying to do what I think is best, truly, and I appreciate how patient you've been with me. I plead. So what's happened? What happened the other night is how you repay the favor. He draws, and I shiver back at the coldness of his voice. When you reject me. Mm. If we go with fears, you better tell this man everything. Please tell him. We gonna tell him. I wanted to kiss you, I confirm, finding it easier to talk about my attraction towards him. My heart beats like a hammer at my chest, and I feel abnormally hot all of a sudden. But I know I couldn't let you.
Huh?
And why is that? Gray asks, his eyes going dark. Because you know why. I say with a slump of my shoulders, recalling our conversation about how I was holding our relationship back. My phone goes off in my pocket once again, but I don't have time to worry about it. Gray shakes his head and his head, his words coming out in a growl when he speaks. I want to hear you say it because I can't kiss you when I'm keeping secrets from you, I explain. I take his breath to compose myself. I didn't want this to turn into an argument, but that's exactly where it's heading. His jaw clenches tight before he lets out a tired sigh. I just wish you could have more trust in me. Mike said, I know you're scared of the repercussions, but I can handle the truth. Woo, no, you can't. This is a hot truth. Woo! Desperately wanting to believe him, I force myself to lock eyes with Gray. I feel the full weight of his emotions, and I can see how much he cares. Please, please tell him. I have the faith. I swallow the wrenching lip in my throat, willing myself to have courage. You're sure? You're sure I can trust you? I say cautiously. He nods, now looking away for a second, and takes a step closer to me. I've proven I can rely. I've proven you can rely on me a time and time again. I'm here helping you now, aren't I? If I can recall correctly, this isn't the first time you lost it, and I didn't want to help you fight it again. Wait, what did he say? For a moment, I can't breathe. I feel like the wind has been knocked out of me. It's not possible. He can't know about me being a former leader of the gang. He wouldn't be standing here with like this if he was. My phone starts to ring again. Oh shit, sorry. I pull out my phone from my pocket, frustrated in an instant ringing. I glare at the phone screen, see a message was call, that I'll call him later when a single word that flashes across the screen seizes my heart in my chest. Emergency. Ah, shit. Come on! Fuck! My mind empties. A panic streaking through me as all kinds of horrible scenarios run through my head. That one word. I'm sorry. I think Nikki's in trouble. I'm trying to explain as I press his number and hold my phone to my ear. He answers he answers almost instantly, though I can barely hear his voice over the commotion in the background. Nikki, what's going on? I asked in a rush, with Gray looking on in concern. The bar, Butterfly Mac. Oh shit. Please help me. Please help. It's bad this time. It's really bad. There's a sound of a bottle smashing and then series of furious shouts. I know exactly which bar he's talking about. It's the one I met. It's the one we met in the Long Time Academy territory. I can't. I'm really sorry. I say, even though. Why did you answer then? Even though my body is roaring at me to go. Please, mindset. We don't have anyone else. Nikki begged, sounding so desperate I can barely stand it. I sigh into the receiver, my shoulders slumping in defeat. Okay, fine. I'm on my way. Oh, I take the car. Give Gray an apologetic look. I have to go. Nikki needs my help. Oh my god. I said quietly, starting to move past him. He puts his hand on my arm to stop me. What's going on? He asks. "You- No, you gotta tell. Oh my god. Oh, she pissed me off again. Though my instincts are to avoid his question, I'm starting to get the feeling that he knows more about me than I thought. It's time to shed a little light on the situation. Nikki's in trouble. Some of the former Riverside High gang members are still active, and they're hassling some Cleaner Academy grads at Wasted. I explain. Ray raises an eyebrow, and he's calling you for help. Why? I shake my head in dismissal. It's a long story. I don't have time to get into it now. Things are bad. I hesitate. If I say anything more, there's a good chance he'll discover who I am in the past, if he doesn't know already. But unfortunately, I think I've run out of time for a private, lengthy conversation. Right now, my gang needs me, and the fandom tagging along could make a difference between victory or defeat. Look, Gray, if you want to come with me and see what I've been keeping a secret from you, I won't stop you. It's time you knew the truth. I can part. Ooh, I can't wait for this year. Come along, come on, Gray. You gonna see me in action as the leader, nigga. You gonna see how you almost got your ass beat last night, nigga. 10 years ago. I can practice. I can practically see the gears turning in his head as he eyes me curiously. Count me in, he says, turning towards the exit. Together we exit the theater in a hurry. Oh shit. We rush out of the cinema and find Sarah and Jed still waiting for us. I'm sensing it was a bad idea to leave you two alone, Sarah says after seeing the look on my face. I shake my head at her. It's Nikki and the Academy gang. They're in trouble. I'm going to help them. I see her give Jed a side, long glance, her eyes widening as she looks at me again. Are you sure you want to do this? She asks. What choice do I have? She nods, and I know she understands some of how I feel, but she doesn't know the whole story. By doing this, I'm not just risking exposing my entire identity to Gray. I also have Ivan to contend with. Oh yeah. Gray finding out that I'm a former leader of the Academy Games one thing, but if Ivan tells him it was me who got him arrested that night of the fight, he'll never speak to me again. Okay, I'm with you, Sarah says, finally weakly. The four of us jump in the taxi, giving Jed a quick rundown of the situation as we head across the town to the bar. Oh shit. When we finally step out in the cab, we find ourselves right in the middle of the scene. Riversiders and Academy members strewn are, are, are strewn down the street. Facing off against each other, a quick head count tells me that my old gang are outnumbered by 2 to 1. Okay. If the cops haven't showed up yet, they'll most definitely be on the way. Glass litters the pavement. People are screaming, shouting, and fighting. This can't go for much longer. I scan the chaos for Nikki, but when I whip my head to the side, I see he's found me first. Yeah, nigga got his ass beat. Butterfly Mac. He says out loud as he staggers over, making my stomach turn. Thank God you came. Aw, shit. They ended like that? Fuck! I was trying to end it there. So, fuck. Alright, let's get the time. Damn. 4:47. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna end it here. and then we'll here's right. All right, I'm gonna end this here, this stream right here. So I think it's gonna be a little too long, and then I'm gonna just start up a new one. Anybody that's watching, honestly, I haven't been looking at the chat, so but I'm gonna stop right here and I'm gonna start it back up.